As the golden light faded behind him, Eli walked steadily toward his village. Every step echoed the weight of the message he carried. The words he had heard in the forest still filled his heart. In the distance, smoke rose gently from cooking fires. Children laughed as they played. Farmers returned from their fields, unaware that their peaceful village was standing on the edge of a great test. Eli whispered softly, "Lord, give me courage to speak your message, even if no one believes me." With a deep breath, he stepped into the village. The village square was alive with conversation. Farmers displayed their harvest. Children ran from one end of the square to the other, and the elders sat beneath the great baobab tree discussing the affairs of the village. Eli tightened his grip on the basket. His heart beat faster with every step. He remembered the words spoken to him in the forest and knew there was no turning back. Gathering all his courage, he stepped into the center of the square and raised his voice. "Please, everyone, listen to me." The laughter slowly faded. Conversations stopped. Curious eyes turned toward the young boy standing alone in the middle of the village. Eli took a deep breath. "God has sent me with a warning. A great storm is coming. We must return to him while there is still time." Silence filled the square. The silence lasted only a few moments before murmurs spread across the crowd. The elders looked at one another. Then one of them slowly stood to his feet. His face carried years of wisdom, but his eyes were filled with doubt. He looked directly at Eli and spoke with a faint smile. "Young boy, are we supposed to believe that God ignored all the elders of this village and chose a child instead?" A few people laughed quietly. Soon the laughter spread through the crowd. Another elder shook his head and said, "We've lived through many rainy seasons. Storms come and go. Stop frightening the people with stories." Eli lowered his head for a moment, but then he remembered the peace he had felt in the forest. He looked up again, not with anger, but with courage. "I am only telling you what I heard, whether you believe me or not. The warning is real." The laughter faded, but many still refused to listen. As the crowd slowly dispersed, most of the villagers shook their heads and returned to their daily routines. To them, Eli's warning was nothing more than the imagination of a young boy. But not everyone walked away. An elderly woman remained standing beneath the great baobab tree. Her eyes stayed fixed on Eli, not with doubt, but with quiet understanding. She slowly walked toward him and gently placed her hand on his shoulder. "My son," she said softly, "many years ago I learned that God often speaks through those people least expect. I believe you." Tears welled up in Eli's eyes. For the first time since returning from the forest, he realized he was not alone. The old woman looked toward the darkening sky and whispered, "If this warning truly comes from God, then we must prepare before it is too late." Together they began gathering food, strengthening their homes, and praying, while the rest of the village laughed and carried on as though tomorrow would be like every other day.